Hi, my name is Jane Powell. Welcome to Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. This is a show showcasing community involvement. We have some fun guests today. We're going to talk a little about fresh food and fresh markets and a little gardening, all my favorite things. I want you to meet my guests from West Virginia University Extension, Laura Hill, and Kristin McCartney. Thanks. Welcome to the show.
We're happy to be here.
We're going to talk about SNAP Ed, I guess is the term. So, okay, give me a definition of SNAP. It's a big program with lots of components, and we're going to break it down a little bit.
Right.
But what is SNAP?
So SNAP Ed is a program that was designed to provide nutrition education and obesity prevention support for low-income audiences. So most people are familiar with SNAP, EBT, the card you use to buy food. Our program is really designed as a support system for those who are on those programs, but really anyone who might be struggling with nutrition or food insecurity. So we're housed within WVU Extension, and a lot of people are familiar with Extension and the support it offers to the state for agriculture and 4-H, but we're also in Extension and providing the outreach to the state specific to nutrition, even kind of food systems development.
I think Extension does just a little bit of everything.
Yeah, you're right about that. There's a lot of programming offered through Extension.
Yeah, there sure is, which is great. So SNAP is the overarching, SNAP Ed is the overarching program. So if we break that down a little bit, we talk about we're going to talk about two programs specifically today, and maybe others are going to pop in, but the kids market at the store, which just sounds fun. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I run this program in Kanawha and Putnam counties, and at the basis of it, it's to get more fruits and vegetables into the mouths of little kids.
Okay.
And we do that. We partner with stores around the county. One of those is Miss Ruby's.
Miss Ruby's on the west side of Charleston.
Yes, so they're one of our newer stores. They're very excited to participate. So the idea is that we give the kids a little bag, tokens, a book, a little passport, and the kids get to use those tokens to buy their own produce.
Oh, how fun is that? Now, do they earn tokens, or just being in the program gives them the tokens?
Yeah, that's a good question. So by being in the program, the parents sign them up, and each kid will have 20 tokens that they can use. So they learn how to, they learn about economics too.
Yeah.
So yeah, every token's worth $1. And we really tell the parents, this is the kids' money. They can use it for whatever fruit or vegetable they want.
So how do you see them? Are the kids excited?
Yes. We in the past, we've had Facebook groups and different ways to interact with the kids. We do food demonstrations at the stores, so I get to see, it's so precious, seeing kids pick their own fruits and vegetables. And if you have kids or around kids, if they get to choose, they are more likely to eat it, right?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So you're seeing it firsthand. You're giving them their tokens, and they get to shop. So that's budgeting.
Right.
And a little meta math in there. We're going to throw that in, sneak it in on them. But they're getting to pick out vegetables.
Right.
Which makes them healthier.
Right.
And the parents are learning too, because they need to learn how to fix the vegetables, right?
Right. So we also give all this support around it. So not only is the child, they have this money to purchase their own, but we give the parents recipes. We have little contests with the kids that they can earn a prize, maybe a kid-safe knife. We give a prize at the end for participation. And as I mentioned a bit, they get a little passport and they get stickers. And so every time they choose a fruit or vegetable, they can put a sticker on that page. So just like a real passport, you collect, stamps for different countries. You collect stamps or stickers for different fruit or vegetables.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
So I bet they want to fill it up.
Yeah, so I also, like, at the end of the program, they can carry it on. So maybe they ran out of their tokens, and this is a summer program, but it can last throughout the year. So we've heard stories of kids and parents extending it on their own. So if they go to the store and they go shopping with mom or dad, the parent says, hey, you can pick out your own fruit or vegetable. And so it gives them a goal for that shopping trip. They're not going to maybe ask for like the car or the candy or whatever when they go to the store, but they get to pick out, you know, a new fruit.
I love it. Yeah, and all the bright colors of the summer fruits. Yeah, that's really fun. Have you had parents tell you, one, they're carrying it through the summer, but what they're seeing at home with the kids?
Yeah, so one of the things I've like been very impressed with, this was like not something I anticipated, but that kids are participating in the meal preparation for dinner. So that gets in, like I said, with the little kid-safe knives, that makes it even easier.
Yeah.
So kids want to help their mom and dad, you know, to make dinner, and so this gives them extra incentive or.
Because those are their red peppers, right?
Right. And they contribute, you know. This is their red pepper they bought, and they can contribute to the family's dinner.
Yeah. So, great program. How do kids get signed up for it? How do families become involved?
That's a good question. So this is a very in-demand program.
I bet.
Yeah. So we are just about to launch our enrollment survey. If you go to our Facebook page,
Okay.
WVU Family Nutrition Program, we will be having that link on the website or on the Facebook.
So
soon.
social media
Yeah.
is really the best
Yeah.
way to keep in touch. And from there, then they can find out information about how to join the program.
Right.
And do they sign up once a year, I'm guessing?
Yeah. I will also mention, too, that in the stores that we're selecting, and this is a statewide program, but I work in Kanawha and Putnam, so the stores we're working in, they can sign up with a QR code on a flyer in the store.
So you mentioned the stores. You're helping them too, right?
That's right.
It's a boost for the stores because you're bringing families into their establishment, which they're going to spend tokens, but let's hope they spend a little bit more, right?
Right. I mean, we reimburse them for the tokens, so they're not out any money, and it will drive more traffic to the stores. So, yeah, it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah, that's really good. So we're always trying to improve health stats and create healthy families. Do you see this happening?
We do, yes. So we do have an increase in fruit and vegetable consumption. And so what we want to do, this is a program starting in 2021, so it's probably about time to measure, you know, long-term change. But short-term change we definitely see, yeah.
Good. Yeah. So the other program that you have that we want to talk about today is the Grow This.
Right.
Okay, now let's talk about Grow This.
You know, Laura's talking about, you know, something we're partnering with stores on related to fruits and vegetables. But one of the overarching goals of SNAP Ed in the state is to increase fruit and vegetable consumption. So this, you know, we're trying to approach that from all levels, even starting, you know, in the ground with gardening. So Grow This really started as a statewide brainstorming session. So some of like through Try This, maybe you've heard of. There was a big group of people interested in health and nutrition and agriculture that came together and really had this idea of we really need to celebrate gardening. We really need a campaign around it and bring back a little bit of that part of our heritage and culture of gardening, and then also, you know, improve our health because of it. So that's really where it started in 2017, and it had really humble beginnings. There were just, I think, 300 people the first 3 years signed up. We send free seeds.
I might have been one of those.
You might have. We'll have to look at the list.
Confession.
You know, we picked 3 crops, and we would send the seeds, and then just, you know, provide updates. It's all on Facebook. It's a kind of a virtual community. So really it was a slow builder, but in 2020 we went from our sign up being 300 to 25,000. So
Wow.
it was people, if you remember, were really, at home looking for something to do, thinking about their health. So that really put us in kind of a different space with Grow This. And, it's been really inspiring to me because what started as, we just want to have this campaign and promote and educate people has really turned into a community. And so that's part of our going into this Grow This Throwdown, which is a community versus community competition where we're encouraging people to do things, related to gardening, but other things to improve nutrition security across the state. So we've kind of gone from, no pun intended, planting seeds kind of at the individual and family level to really looking at how do we plant these seeds in communities and counties to build our local food system and agriculture.
I love it. Yeah, because I always say you don't need a farm, a flower pot. You can grow a tomato or some onions or lettuce. It can be on whatever level you need it to be.
It can, and it's. I was lucky to have people share gardening with me as a child and as I became an adult, and really having that opportunity to get people started. People are kind of intimidated by gardening, so. We try to make the campaign more fun and interactive, and we celebrate failures and successes. So, it's just something we want people to try and try to give them what they need, to get started through the seeds and then also education.
Well, I love that both programs are nutrition-based and there's fun, and that you're striving to change the lives of others. Really, that sounds big, but that's what's happening. If you can teach someone to grow or to even love a vegetable, if they're buying it in a store, I don't care where they get it, if they learn to love it, that increases their chances, I guess, of eating it forever, right?
Right.
So I love that. Any lasting words about your programs? I think that they're both quite wonderful.
I think the one thing I would say that we've kind of seen over time is that the programs empower people. We tend to think of, eat healthy and exercise as kind of punitive things, but we really strive to make our programs empowering, let people take ownership of their health in a way that's, like you said, fun and not intimidating, because, you can be healthy, it can be fun. And you can take control of it.
That's right. Laura, you see kids come in with their excitement, which translates to their parents, because all parents want their kids to be excited about something. So you see it at a family level there as well.
Yeah, I mean, seeing kids, start to prepare their own food. I mean, that, like you said, it's very empowering. And whereas a parent may before have said, well, you need to help with this or that, you don't have to ask the kid to do that. They want to. They're excited about, their own produce that they brought.
Yeah, that's really wonderful. So for folks that are interested in this program, we talked about it earlier, but social media is really the best way to get in touch. And can you tell me the name of that Facebook page again, or how I find it?
Yeah, so we do have a social media manager, so messages are read and comments read and everything. So people will get back to you. It's WVU Family Nutrition Program on Facebook.
Okay, that's great. Thank you both so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
This is great. Laura, Kristin, it's been wonderful. I love hearing about what we're teaching the next generation to have fun and how to be healthy. That's just great. Thank you guys so much for joining us. This has been Community Connections, brought to you by the Greater Kanawha Valley Foundation. We'll see you next time.